Hello everyone, Sakey here, Wake Up New Zealand. Today I would like to talk about Halal certification. Okay, well, is it a scam? I have to wonder, surely these companies, these large companies are making a lot of money out of this. And what's it all about? So I think it's more than just about the almighty dollar sign. Okay, so what companies are certified as halal? Let me see, there's Whitakers, there's Cabrets. It's ironical that Cabrets was selling halal Easter eggs when Muslims don't even believe in Easter. Kind of crazy, I think. So, who else? Oh, and we have halal on hot cross buns too. So, also there's Vegemite, New Zealand King Salmon, Cabrets, Bagels, Lipton's, Nando's, Nestle's, Peter Pit, Ferrero chocolates, Nutella, Kinder, Tic Tac, and there's many more, a lot more. So, I even saw a van with halal tourism on it. What a load of bullcrap that is. So, overseas they have halal beaches, halal holiday resorts. So, Netherlands, I know they have halal beaches. So, what is halal? Well, halal is an Arabic word, and it means permitted or being lawful. According to the Islamic Council, they refer to food as a dietary standard in the Quran. The slaughter of meat is done by a sane Muslim who must not be uttering any word of Christianity. It's got to be all about Allah. They must be mentioning Allah and nothing else while they're slaughtering that beast. So the Federation of Islamic Associations of New Zealand does most of the halal certificates in this country. They actually state, by Islamic law, animals must be slaughtered with a sharp knife. Its throat must be cut and the jugular vein be cut, severed right through. Only Allah's name must be mentioned during the slaughtering of the beast. Muslim majority, those countries with the populations that are majorly Muslims, they're making halal certification mandatory. So what about New Zealand? In plain words, halal is anything that is created under Islamic law called Sharia. So recently asked the question on social media, on Facebook, how about, what would you think if Sharia law came into New Zealand? Do you want Sharia law in New Zealand? Within a few hours, I got hundreds of replies, and what I got was a whole lot of no's. I did not get one yes. And there were remarks made like, hell feckin' no. No bloody way. No, 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 no. Okay, so I was reading an article written by Right Minds New Zealand where they said that part of the money goes to Halal Authority is given as zakat, a charity named or aimed at Muslims to promote Islam. Halal funds have been exposed to paying for mosques in Indonesia. Another is for the Holy Land Foundation. Now they supply to the Hamas terrorist organisation. So there are many Hamas authorities out there, and they're really hard to keep track of. So they're unsure how many terrorist activities are being funded by halal certified goods and services. Regulation and standards for halal meat production administered by the Ministry for Primary Industries in New Zealand include chicken and bacon. So, New Zealand tourism. Well, what's that to do, halal? Well, they teamed up with Kiwi Muslim Directory and created a halal food guide. And they say it will encourage Muslim tourists here. So, Coca-Cola and McDonald's, they're all involved in the halal, supporting halal, and they have run Ramadan campaigns. You know, it's all about money, 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 money. So they're not looking at the political stance of things. Countries that have actually banned halal slaughter are Sweden, Iceland, Switzerland, Belgium. Yeah, they're just some of them that have banned it. So when you certificate halal food, it appears that we have no say, the public of New Zealand have no say as to paying this fee, or is it a tax? What is it on halal food or halal goods or halal services? Indonesia, halal labelling is mandatory for consumer products and services, and they have like shampoos, soaps, cosmetics, toothpaste, and the government of Indonesia make billions from this in their annual revenue. So are we looking at that same thing, making billions for our government? I don't know. So they're about to overhaul their halal certificate rules, and that will make their revenue swell to $427 billion expected by 2022. So it is big dollar. We're talking about hate speech and that on the internet. Strange that, because we're talking about left-wing, right-wing, white supremacists, all sorts of stuff. Well, Hala, internet, is an Islamic browser promising a better web service. So there you have, we have Hala internet. So how is that going to be controlled? So it is questionable. Is the Islamic State actually receiving a steady cash flow from us even in New Zealand? So, us individually or groups, if we set up our own tax system, it would be a criminal offence. So why is it that we have the halal certificate system where everyone is paying for this and we don't know, it's not audited, there's no formal information about it, there's nothing about a tax, they never actually publicly say where the money's going to. So, it's all up in the air. We don't know where it's going to. So in Australia, there's a yogurt company that actually failed to put halal certification on their yogurts because they were getting a lot of flack and abuse through social media. Well, they had a contact with Emirates, and Emirates said, we're not dealing with you anymore, and they lost that contact. And that was a lot of money that they lost, and that's the way it works. So the Quran actually sets out what constitutes halal, and it's reflected in Sharia law. So if you think you haven't got Sharia law in New Zealand, you're highly mistaken. You do have in this form, and the government is going along with it. So think twice, people. So family law. In Australia, Australian Islamic councils have publicly advocated for Sharia to play a role in family law determinations. So there you have it. New Zealanders, you know, talking about Sharia and the implications from halal goods and services being sold to you, how do you really feel about it when you go grocery shopping and you don't know where that money's going to? When you buy a jar of Vegemite or a Cadbury's Easter egg or something, and do you look at every item to see if it's got the halal sign on it? You know, you don't know what you are contributing to, and that's not right. So I went into the RSA last night with hubby, and hubby was told to take his hat off. This is a bit diversion. Hubby was told to take his hat off, so he took it off out of respect, of course. I was in the bank the other week. A man was told to take his hat off. But there's a lady standing there with a burqa on. What is the difference? Why is it that one rule for one and not for others? You know, don't they see that people want to see whose face is there? People feel threatened if they can't see. So, you know, it's human nature. So what we don't see, we really worry about sometimes. So the New Zealand government, are we making proposals that enshrine halal organisations into New Zealand law? Making New Zealand companies responsible for complying with Sharia law? And what happens if those companies were to refuse or fail to do so? Is this government going to build a legal framework around that? It is questionable, isn't it? So where does the money go to? That's what I want to know. And why is it not in our tax system so that we can audit it? And why don't we know whether we are funding terrorists or not? Because we really don't know. We just go about our grocery shopping and we don't even think about it. How many of you would actually take the time to read every jar, every packet of food that they buy? I certainly don't. So, yeah. If I'm in business and I charge someone GST tax, I have to answer for that. I have to put in a form that goes to the tax department. I'm answerable, accountable. But obviously, with halal certified goods and services, there is no accountability. We need to start thinking about holding our government responsible for this. We've got to do something about it. We know petitions are not working. So what do we do? Someone needs to stand up and be counted. Thank you very much, New Zealand.